This is so crazy. I've never gone live on YouTube before. We're going to try it and see what happens. And if it's a total bust, then don't judge me. So I'm Vanessa Linsey. I'm a mediator with MWI. We're a mediation firm and training ground for all things mediation and negotiation based out of Boston, but we have a global presence. It's an awesome place to work and to hire. Call us if you ever need us. Okay, there's the plug, mwi.org. But what I'm tuning in today to talk about is the Good Divorce Project, which is an effort that we have designed to help people feel uplifted during what can be the very worst time of life, a divorce. And it's not limited to one short period of time where you're going to court and figuring out your separation agreement. It can often expand far, far into years ahead. And so let's talk about some of the things that happened during those years ahead and see if we can find some really great ways to manage tough times. So wanted to talk about microaggressions today and how when we can really tune in to our tiniest, slightest behaviors in the moment, they can help us create a more peaceful home going forward. So I'm not only a mediator for divorces, I've also gone through a divorce. I have several children and stepchildren. There are 7 in total, and they span ages from 9 to 28. I've been a stepmother since I was like 26 years old. And I'm like well into my 40s now. So I've got this down. I also taught mindfulness and meditation for 10 years before becoming a divorce mediator. So I feel like I've got some good background in this. I try to practice what I preach. I'm not always successful with it, but these things are called practices for a reason. So just stay patient with me and stay patient with yourself, most of all. So when I'm talking about microaggressions is a word that we hear all the time. It's sort of like those little tiny things that you do to other people during the day that you don't even notice you're doing. It's the dirty look. It's the scoffing. It's the sarcasm. It's like the name calling that you think is kind of cute and funny, but the person the names are landing on thinks it really sucks. And so we may not notice these microaggressions, but they are really informing our relationships. They inform your relationship with your ex or your soon-to-be ex or your stepchildren. When you're fusing families together, it is really, really hard, and it's more important than ever to put a check on your microaggressions because they hurt people, they confuse people, and they can really make a family fall apart. It's all these little things add up. So how do we notice our microaggressions? Well, hopefully we have somebody on the other side who's telling us, like, that doesn't make me feel good. Can you stop doing that? Most people don't have that. Instead of having somebody gently say, can you please stop rolling your eyes every time I ask you to take the dog out? People just like start to hate each other and get annoyed with each other and get offended constantly. So we need to like stop the offensiveness train. How do we do that? One way is when you're on the receiving end of a microaggression, instead of retaliating or reacting to it, we decide on purpose, we choose happy, and we decide to stay in our integrity and maintain our equanimity. There's that Buddhist word that so many people love. We maintain our equanimity and our peace of mind. And we decide that it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. I'm going to stay in alignment with my own integrity. That is super huge. We can also decide to stay quiet instead of saying anything, or we can respond with a smile. Another thing that I really love is not assuming the worst. And I'm going to give a quick example. Child walks into the refrigerator, opens the refrigerator door, pulls something out, walks away and leaves the door open. And instead of it, so when a parent sees that, we'll be like, can you shut the refrigerator door? Like, I'm kind of tired of telling you to do these things, turning off the lights, whatever it is that these teenagers are doing, the parents get frustrated. When you're a step, you have to be extra careful because that is a more sensitive communication pattern that you're playing with right there. And so you have to be even more careful than when it's your own child. But if we don't assume the worst in this child, we don't assume that they're doing it on purpose, and we don't assume that they don't care, then we're in a better position to approach this child with forgiveness, with kindness, and with some compassion. What I know about teenagers is they can be really flaky and forgetful. They can also be awesome and funny and all those other things too. But yeah, I mean, our electricity bill probably doubled when my kids became teenagers because they just leave lights on all the time. They leave refrigerator doors open. Any door, they'll leave it open. So just having like that patience, that compassion with them, remembering they're not doing it to us. It's not personal. These are kind of like the 4 agreements ideas. If anybody's a Don Miguel Ruiz follower, that can be really, really helpful to help us stay in our integrity and approach them with forgiveness. The other thing that we can do is remember that when we react to sort of like a neutral experience of like leaving the refrigerator door open, when we react to that with aggression, we are complicating our futures. So there's this great line by Eleanor Roosevelt. So many people have heard it. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. This is an opportunity to do just that. You decide instead, like consciously, with intention, you decide instead of coming after that child for doing something that's really annoying, I am going to make a decision now to stay cool because I know that if I fly out the handle, when I reflect on that experience, like a week later, or when I get more information around the experience and understand that it wasn't malintended, I'm going to feel really bad about it. And I'm going to have to apologize. I've had to apologize to my own stepchildren. My partner has had to apologize to my children. The kids usually don't apologize to us because they always think they're right. And we just have to be, that's another thing you just have to be okay with. Like giving the apology is more important than receiving it. So when we stop that cycle, we decide we're not going to participate in this sort of like spiraling out of behavior. And then we create a more peaceful home. Isn't that lovely? Just by not engaging in that microaggression, we are creating a more peaceful future, a more peaceful present, because it all starts here in the present. And our family is going to be a lot. Wow, my hair looks crazy. YouTube Live. We're going to just create a better, more peaceful home for our families going forward. And that's when we come into our power as a family. Every time we surrender to these like lower vibrational moments of just being frustrated or like picking or sarcastic or whatever that is, we give our power away. We give our family power away. You know, we are deciding to engage with step families, or we're deciding to go through a divorce. And you know, even when you're engaging with your ex in a way that's low vibrational, you're giving your power away. You know, think about the people who have been through the divorce and come out on the other side and have really terrific, strong relationships. Like, for example, Ben Heltwand, he's an author with his ex-wife, Nikki. They wrote a book together called Our Happy Divorce. They are still vacationing together. They're still getting along. Their son Asher is benefiting wildly from the strength of his parents' relationships, even post-divorce. So if we can keep our eye on that kind of prize and continue to make decisions that benefit ourselves long-term, we keep our power. We get inspired by others. We then inspire other people to have better relationships, and the world becomes a more peaceful place, which is so exciting. This is world peace happening right here at your fingertips. So just some ideas to think about how important communication is. And one more tidbit. The thing about practicing mindfulness, practicing good communication skills, not getting caught up in microaggressive moments, is remembering not to get caught up, because they creep up on you when you don't expect them. And so if you can remember to stay in your integrity, then you'll have a better chance of actually doing it. How do you remember? You can do lots of things to remember. So you can set up your environments at home with triggers that will remind you to stay grounded and stay dignified in your behavior. It could be like a bouquet of flowers. It could be a special bracelet that you wear. It could be a necklace that jingles when you walk. You might paint your fingernails all the colors of the rainbow. One of the cute things I've recommended in the past is putting a dog collar, like a brightly colored dog collar on your pet. Most of us have pets at our feet, especially during COVID when so many of us are working at home. When you're petting your dog or your cat, remember that this is an opportunity to remember to be mindful and stop those cycles of pain, really. Okay, so if you like that, maybe subscribe. I don't really know how this works, but go ahead and subscribe. You'll be seeing lots of mediators coming on in weeks to come, sharing more helpful tips about communication, about working through your divorce, about working with step families and regular families, just about solving problems in a really productive and meaningful way and compassionate way. So hope to see you back here again. Again, I'm Vanessa Linsey. You can find me through mwi.org. If you want to talk about divorce mediation, call me anytime. And thanks for tuning in. Peace.